Manisha Priyam, you want to dive in to to react to that it would be simplistic to look at this as a Hindu-Muslim election. There are issues that vary from region to region, from cut money, which is an allegation made against the Trinamool Congress, to local level corruption, to Cyclone Amphan, to possibly Mamta's own Mahila Muslim vote. She has a strong support among women that perhaps continues to endure.
Yeah, I think all these issues are important, but as you showed the region by region breakup, I think the story in North Bengal is very, very critical, because this was the place where you also had a lot of non-Matua scheduled caste communities. This was the area where the CPM and the Congress used to do well. You also had a Bimal Gurung who was with the BJP, but this time campaigning for the TMC. So North Bengal is a mixture of hill politics, a lot of fragmented scheduled caste communities, and a lot of the scheduled tribe communities, and the Cha Bagan. Now, Mamta Banerjee had a lot of the Cha Bagan agenda on her plate, lot of offerings. Now, if the BJP is, as per the numbers, going to be trumping the TMC in this area, then there's something definitely on what are the new voters that the BJP has picked up. Now remember, this is not Amphan area, Amphan is other areas. So there's something really in taking the election region by region and holding it in different phases that goes on to disassemble an apparatus that Mamta Banerjee had built up. Now if you're able to patch together this with the West.
No, I'm trying to find a narrative. Is there a narrative based on these numbers? Nilanjan Sircar, as you said, you went to the ground. When I look at numbers, gender-wise voting, Mamta is getting 45%, right. BJP 43%. We've seen if there is any hope that Mamta has, looking at these numbers, that she may well do better among women, as Nitish did in Bihar, and then she has the edge. Right. Did you pick that up at all, that the Mahila Muslim factor is the reason why Mamta is still in this race?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I'm not the only one. I think most people reporting saw that there was a gender effect. There is a large female base of support from Mamta. They've also been large beneficiaries of schemes that have reached the ground, whether it be cycles, whether it be money for completing education, whether it be money for not having underage marriages, right? And so that has created sort of a female vote bank. And I think privately, I spoke to a number of pollsters as well, and especially after the last Bihar election. And one of the questions that we always have is that, polls can be a little bit biased because there's some people who don't respond to that. And you have to start thinking about who's not responding. Is it, for instance, Hindu Muslim, somebody who doesn't want to say that, they've been polarized? Often we find that women answer polls less frequently, but they may have vote choice. And I think a lot of pollsters believe in Bihar that that's sort of where things went off in this.
No, but Nilanjan, can I counter you? Nilanjan, can I counter you by saying that there will be BJP pollsters today who will say that the fear factor is being underestimated, that if anything, there may be a fear of saying openly that I'm voting for the BJP. So with a tight race, if anything, the BJP could get the edge.
Absolutely, and that's what I mean by the polarized vote, right? So which is that, I may have been, polarized against the TMC, but obviously given the strength of the TMC cadre on the ground, it's very, very hard to say that, right? And let's just let's take the numbers you talked about. 64 seats within 2 percentage points, meaning a very, very small bias in sampling. 2 percentage points is going to make a sweep for one party or the other, right? So we're talking about a statistical dead heat that is going to be really, really conditioned on a very small small amount of sampling bias, or a very small amount of silent voters shifting the electorate drastically one way or the other.